some are not sure. They're 80% sure he's dead or she's dead. But they have that little glimmer of hope, and I say, let them have that hope, right? Let them have that hope. But getting the body back is just as important as getting the son back healthy or the daughter back healthy. It's amazing to see when I see the level of intensity and love and sorrow and tragedy. As I said in my inaugural address, it's my hope that my greatest legacy will be as a peacemaker, not a conqueror. Under the Trump administration, every day brings more good news for America. I've ended all of the so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion programs across the entire enterprise. And notified every single government DEI officer that their job has been deleted. They're gone. They're fired. They're fired. They're fired. I made it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female. That was easy. I banned men from competing in women's sports. I also proudly banned the use of... thank you. We banned the use of puberty blockers, hormone injections, and other chemical and surgical mutilation of your youth. Can you imagine making a speech like this 10 years ago? People would say, what the hell is he talking about? This is a sickness that came along with critical race theory and all of the other things that we had to put up with. And it's all out now, critical race theory and transgender insanity. It's all gone from our schools and from our... And I believe it's gone too. I think we've turned the heads of even the people that, if you can believe they're believers, I don't know if they were, but I believe that it's all gone. And I've directed the reinstatement of any service member who was expelled from the armed forces due to the COVID vaccine mandate. They will be returned to their former rank with full back pay. Golden towers that are 1,000 years old. They're lying on the ground in smithereens, blown to smithereens. There's nothing left of them. They're just lying on the ground, never to be rebuilt again, not possible to rebuild them again. And all of that heritage is gone. People have done a really horrible job. That would have never, if I were president, zero chance that a shot would even have been fired. It wouldn't have happened. So sad. To further turbocharge our economy, we've launched the most aggressive deregulation program in any nation's history. And we're also going to be seeking the largest tax cuts in American history. We brought them down, as you know, from close to 40% down to 21%. Now we're bringing them down to 15% if you make your product in the United States of America. That thing is going to end, but it's got to end. It's a horrible, horrible thing. I'm dealing with President Zelensky. I'm dealing with President Putin. I'm trying to get the money back that, or secured, because, you know, Europe has given $100 billion. The United States has given $350 billion. Because we had a stupid, incompetent president and administration. 350. But here's worse. Europe gave it in the form of a loan. They get their money back. We gave it in the form of nothing, so I want them to give us something for all of the money that we put up, and I'm going to try and get the war settled, and I'm going to try and get all that debt ended. So we're asking for rare earth, oil, anything we can get, but we feel so stupid. Here's Europe, and you know, it affects Europe. It doesn't really affect us, except we don't like to see two things. Number one, how Biden got us into this thing in the first place. Terrible. But why is it that he didn't ask for equalization? Europe should put up more money than us. But even if you said the same thing, how come we went so far out front? And he didn't know that Europe gets his money back. They did it in the form of a loan. We don't get our money back. we get nothing. So we're getting our money back. We're going to get our money back because it's not fair. It's just not fair. And we will see, but I think we're pretty close to a deal, and we better be close to a deal. Because that has been a horrible situation. It would have never happened if I were president. And by the way, October 7th, Israel would have never happened if I was president. Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah. They had no money to give. Everybody knows that. Jewish people in the audience know that. Iran was broke. They were not giving money around. And when I got out, they took all the sanctions off Biden, and Iran became rich very quickly. With oil, you can become rich very, very quickly. And the rest is history. What a horrible thing. Even though the hostages are coming back, I saw it this morning where we got 6 more back. Biden got none back, by the way, just so you understand. None. 0. He would have never gotten any of them back. But they're coming back in pretty bad shape. It's a horrible thing, and many are dead. Many are dead. So we'll see how that... Recapture for a large dose of it, at least. $520 million for a consultant to... Look at it, $520 million. $520 million. You know, when I hire consultants and they just take advantage of you, it's a horrible thing to watch. And I give them $25,000, I feel I'm overpaid. These guys got $520 million. Environmental, social, governance, and investments in Africa. $25 million to promote biodiversity, conservation, and socially responsible behavior in Colombia. This is Colombia, South America, not Columbia University. Of course, that might be worse based on their actions. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows where, who are they, where do they come from? Just sedentary migrants. Nobody even knows what a sedentary migrant is. If they were sedentary, they wouldn't be a migrant, right? They stay in the same place, right now? $42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda. $10 million for Mozambique medical male circumcisions. Why are we going to Mozambique to do circumcisions? It's a lot of money. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. Here's a beauty. $486 million to a consortium of elections and political process strengthening ideas, of which $22 million goes to inclusive and participatory political process in Moldova. $29 million goes to strengthen the political landscape and help them out so that they can vote for a radical left communist in Bangladesh. You had to see who they supported. You wouldn't believe, yeah, you would believe it. Nobody in this room would be in that group. $20 million for fiscal federalism and $19 million for biodiversity in Nepal. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. $18 million for helping India with its elections. Why the hell? Why don't we just go to all paper ballots? Let them help us with our elections.
The role of the United Nations is irreplaceable. After traveling an extraordinary journey of 80 years, the United Nations remains the most representative and most authoritative intergovernmental international organization. It is the core mechanism for achieving world peace and development. Under the current circumstances, the role of the United Nations can only be strengthened. It must not be undermined. The stature of the United Nations must be safeguarded, not replaced. Secondly, the trend toward multilateralism is irreversible. Unilateralism and protectionism go against people's will. It is important for all countries to support the multilateral system with the United Nations at its center, abide by the purposes of the UN Charter, and abide by the basic norms governing the basic norms of international relations, and carry forward the philosophy of multilateralism and reinvigorate the spirit of multilateralism. Thirdly, the trend toward solidarity and progress is irreplaceable. Countries are interdependent and share the same future, and no country can go it alone. We must not allow the strong to bully the weak, still less revert to the law of the jungle. Solidarity is better than division, and cooperation is better than confrontation. Only solidarity and cooperation can deliver win-win results for all countries and can achieve peace and development in our world. Fourth, the reform and improvement of global governance must not be delayed. To build a just and equitable global governance system is the shared expectation of the international community, and it is an effective way to meet global challenges. It is important to adapt to the new changes in the international, political, and economic landscape, increase the representativeness of the global South, and better reflect the will and interests of the vast majority countries in a more balanced manner in the reform. International obligation seriously and not have selective application and still less apply double standards.
第四是要完善中方支持，继续通过广泛民主的协商，就包括安理会在内。
Esse médico só queira certas contas.